Alright, welcome back guys to episode 4. We did a bit of recording earlier, it didn't work out, so we're trying this out again. So hopefully this one actually gets to be published. So this week's episode, we're going to look at unsung heroes and also the best goalkeeper of all time. You're looking at the history of goalkeepers. Why suddenly? Well, you'll find out. If you're a United fan, you probably already know. Guys, introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Fapes.
I'm Gibbs.
Liverpool fans. Yeah.
Boo.
Boo, but United lost over the weekend, bro. Thoughts?
Okay, bro.
No, we are currently trying to ask for the cave from you, Sashi.
Oh, okay. Boleh pinjam, bro. Lama tak guna. Lot to reduce.
I mean, they were using the cave for 30 years, so it's time for us to use.
Boo, that's proven, bro. I got no comeback for that. So yeah, United lost over the weekend. Liverpool won. For Liverpool, okay, it's a step closer to winning the title, 20th title. I know everybody was celebrating when West Ham kind of drew the game for
Seriously,
a
you're celebrating after
Oh my
Robertson's
goodness.
own goal.
I'll never celebrate that, bro.
bit. Are you sure?
No.
Because you're focusing on United's game lah. But
Yeah.
okay, United's game against Newcastle, just quick thoughts on it. Because it was kind of a meaningless game for you guys. Newcastle needed the top 4 position. United are kind of settled in the bottom half of the table, which is so satisfying to say, guys.
Just to put it in one sentence, same old United.
So, quick thoughts on the game, Gibbs.
Well, yeah, disappointing result, but I don't think we played that badly to deserve for one. Just unfortunate that Newcastle scored 2 goals based on our errors in the last 2 goals. And I think right up to 2-1, you're pretty much in the game. Once it was 3-1, I think we kind of give up the game, and yeah, that's our story.
So you wish that Ronaldo was there to bag in another 3 more goals, bro.
I think Ronaldo there will lose him bigger. He won't be running at all.
What would have made you guys win? Because Newcastle midfield is really
If
strong.
we had our starting 11 there, and also
Really though, Newcastle's 11 is better than your starting 11.
No, I mean, because our focus is basically currently the Europa League.
Now you're
We
giving
just
excuses.
we can say there's excuses, but we just came back from Lyon and we have to travel to Newcastle. So if it is at Old Trafford, maybe.
Lyon is in France and England is next to each other.
Yeah, of course. But still,
It's not a very far journey, bro.
True. But I would say the game came at a time where we are sandwiched between a big weekend, a big Friday ahead of us. We have a Lyon at Old Trafford. And we have a big crisis with our goalkeeper currently. And there's no room for error for us because we considered 2 foolish goals at Lyon. So I can understand why the players...
Yeah, man, that was so bad. That was so bad.
Yeah, so
But when this episode comes out, you probably will already be the middle of the week, and hopefully United are through. What do you think United's chances are in the Champions League?
Champions League? Oh.
Champions League?
Yeah, Fabs. Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Because
it's technically a good result away from home, right?
correct. I think they can win against Lyon, but there's still a long way to go, lah.
I think it's 50-50.
What's your prediction? Unbiased prediction.
2-1
2-1 to
United.
Who's the scorer?
That's the problem.
Own goals, bro.
That's the big problem.
Own goals, maybe.
Maybe Bruno and also Garnacho.
Okay.
I think Azerzi is out, so definitely he's not.
I think we will... Okay.
Yeah.
I think we will win 4-3. Onana will concede 3 stupid goals, but we'll come back this time.
You think Onana's going to start?
Yeah, I think
You
we'll
think
start.
United gonna score 4 goals, bro?
Well, it's Old Trafford. It's the Europa League. A bit more different kind of pressure, different kind of competition. I think, I believe we can.
I'll take your word, bro. And all the fans watching this will see this.
Oh no!
But yeah, that's
It's just a prediction. So
yeah, it's part of being a fan. Like, you always have hope, right?
Hey, but actually, one more thing. You forgot to recap Arsenal's victory against Real Madrid.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's their second favorite club.
Yeah, even though it's not part of the discussion, yeah, sure. Thoughts on a couple of free kicks that were...
I mean, I think the
Bendy like
result was
Beckham.
well deserved. Declan Rice, for one, said Beckham's lick, and he scored 2 out of the world free kicks. Really, that kind of free kicks typically will only be able to be done by Beckham, and some exceptional.
Actually, Beckham's technique is different.
Yeah,
He didn't bend it like
was-
Beckham also, bro.
Yeah.
technically,
He more like
ball
whipped it.
curl,
Yeah, he
He
whipped it in.
whipped it like Kevin De Bruyne.
Yes.
The way the whip he had on it.
But the way the ball curled, like the first goal, it's like hitting towards out, and
I
then
mean, curl, yes, but the technique in which he strike.
Of
right?
course, he did strike
Yeah.
with Beckham's technique, but definitely the way the ball went is reminds of Beckham, how his free kick curls and goes into the net.
But you were supporting Real Madrid at Gabby.
I wasn't supporting either one really, but I'm really hoping for Arsenal to go through because I can see the pain of their fans.
Since when you care about Arsenal fans? Been trashing them for so many years.
No, really. I don't.
Now,
Actually,
now you feel pity for him.
That's it. Now,
actually,
because
no.
there's no other team to support, if Real Madrid had went to the Emirates and they trashed them 3-0, he'll be on Real Madrid's side. So
No,
he's always on the winning
No.
side.
That's
I don't know
bullshit.
what to say.
No,
Hey,
no.
What do you mean
I
no?
will.
What do you mean no? You have a Real Madrid jersey, right?
Yeah, you're wearing a Real Madrid jersey.
Yeah.
So when is you get an Arsenal jersey?
I'll get Arsenal jersey if they reach the Champions League final.
Also, that's a requirement lah. Successful teams only get your jersey lah.
No lah.
Surprisingly, you're still wearing the United jacket though, because they're no longer successful.
Well, that season
No,
we
actually-
won the Premier League, bro. That's why.
No, actually, the truth is, I'll support Arsenal because they have not won the Champions League before, and I
But
think
this is a United Liverpool podcast, bro. So
Yeah, it's okay.
you support United, or you can support Liverpool, or by all means, we
No
accept
way.
fake news fans.
Do a yeah on Gabby. Seriously.
Guys, I have no longer supporting United. I have been converted to Merseyside. That might
never,
just
never,
happen.
never.
Never,
But you keep switching teams so fast, bro. Real Madrid,
He's changing
Arsenal.
rules,
It's
bro.
okay. I mean, you have one team that you're loyal to, and the other teams are just for fun.
For fling lah. Huh?
Yeah, for fling, for fling.
Okay,
just
like-
for fun. Seriously, but honestly, I want Arsenal to win. Period.
Why?
Because they have not won a Champions League before. Simple as that.
But why you care about Arsenal's?
Because I can feel your pain. Always not able to give Liverpool a proper fight at title. So
Really?
I want them
Oh,
to.
because they didn't beat Liverpool, you want them to win
Yes.
something lah. Okay.
Mm.
If it was Liverpool versus Madrid,
Of course, Madrid.
there you go.
Like the
Okay.
whole jersey, Sashi.
Okay, so coming back to the recap of the weekend, that was United's story a little bit and a bit about the Champions League. I think now next we have Liverpool beating West Ham, which was a narrow victory. It was pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't straightforward. We controlled the first half. Second half was horrible. It felt like we just don't know how to control games anymore, which is kind of worrying to see. Your thoughts on the performance?
Actually, do you remember the moment Robertson scored own goal? I sent a text in the group. What?
Yeah. I wanted to respond. I was like, yeah. Before I could respond, we equalized. We scored the winning goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my thoughts is that we were lucky, very lucky, and this season a lot has gone in our favor. I have to say, we've ridden our luck so many times. So even how Allison had so much one-on-ones to save against West Ham. So in most other seasons, you will see us conceding goals. But I think that's the benefit of having a top keeper, and that's part of the reason why I go to cover keepers today. So top keeper and not so top keeper.
Yeah.
Today is your day, Sashi.
And what happens. But then again, we still conceded. If you talk about defense, Arsenal still have the better defense in the Premier League. Liverpool's defense is shocking. Conceded 3 against Fulham. Considered a sloppy goal today. But somehow we are managing to win. And what we've seen over the years, it's all about getting over the line, right?
Mhm.
Getting
That's
the 3
correct,
points.
correct.
And getting the 3 points is what matters. So that's the recap of the weekend. Let's go into the unsung heroes part. We start with United. Briefly off air or on air, that we thought we were on air, but we weren't. We were talking about unsung heroes, and you guys mentioned some common names. I'll start with you, Fabes. Maybe share with us a little bit about your unsung hero of this season.
For the season,
Yeah.
right? For the season, I think Mazraoui and Diego Dalot is an unsung hero because they are taking up multiple different positions.
But do you think that's a good thing?
That is actually not a good thing being a utility player because,
All James Milner's level.
and also Phil Neville, do you remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he didn't really get a starting, but yeah. But yeah, one thing about them is they just stuck to their guns and follow what the managers asked them to play. But between those two, I think Mazraoui deserves the shout out because he's just coming in from a different club. He just came in from Bayern Munich.
Dalot's been there for quite some years.
Dalot's been, I think this is third season.
He's played left back, right back.
Yeah. He has
Who
to
is United's best back three right now, or back five?
If you ask me, on the wings, I think Dorgu will play well on the left wing.
Dogu.
Yeah, Dalot plays right wing back,
On the three.
and Lenny Ono plays on the left side. Right side should be Mazraoui. And the centre back, I think, is still a bit of a question.
Yeah, I don't think Lindelof can be the guy, man.
Lindelof
Yeah.
and Maguire is still not the right person.
Lindelof, Maguire.
Mm.
Actually, Maguire, out of Lindelof, Maguire, and Delete, I think Maguire is the one that I feel is most capable.
More
at this
safer,
point.
yeah.
Yeah. Shockingly, that's how bad United's defenders are.
Yeah.
But Lindelof, I can't believe he's still at the club. I
Yeah, of
thought
course, I think-
United would have sell him by now because he feels like he's like worse than actually John O'Shea was a
Yeah,
good
honestly.
defender, you guys. I feel he's like Gabriel Heinze kind of player where you don't really cannot really trust him in centre back.
Yeah, I mean, one
Yeah.
thing is, he has lost a lot since Mourinho left, and I think, we can't. I think the summer will be his last. We're just looking to clear him off. Currently, we don't have any. I'm surprised also he's still playing, but it shows how bad our centre backs are. That we still have to use players like Lindelof. But we can't do much about it. We just have to carry on and finish off the season with him.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then we'll surely sell him off.
Your unsung heroes.
For me, I think Joshua Zirkzee. He's, of course, honestly, he has not lived up to his expectation as a striker. He has not scored the goals we expected him to score. But I'm seeing him now in recent weeks and times. He has transformed himself into a false nine where he's able to hold the ball very well and create space and chances and dribble past defenders and open up for his teammates to score. It's only the unfortunate because his teammates are letting him down through their finishings. Or not, he would have gotten more assists this season so far. Yeah, Joshua is really playing very hard for the team. He's really like giving himself selflessly for the team.
Yeah, he's
Fantastic
actually
guy.
super good. Reminds
Yes.
me of Gakpo
Exactly.
when he first joined Liverpool, but he was playing in the wrong position at the time,
Correct.
getting a lot of stick. I think Liverpool fans also were not really kind to him.
Mhm.
Yeah, because in the World Cup 2022, he was so good.
Mm.
Then when he came, he looked like very substandard because he was being played out of position. Klopp wanted him as a striker or to replace Firmino, but he's actually a left-sided player that comes in like Diaz and then takes shots.
Yeah.
So playing out of position, I think that's a bit sad on Xerxes' part. He's
Yes.
come at a bad time. But I feel like if you play him in the right position next season, he could really flourish. If I just
Yes.
thinking like United get for once in their in this decade, maybe just get a proper system and play continuously. You see, like Liverpool system, right? Like Klopp built it, right? It took number of years for us to play like that.
Mhm.
And he didn't like suddenly change the system. He just
Very
stuck
true.
to it
Very
until
true,
he
very true.
perfected it.
Yes.
Right. So Ruben Amorim needs that time to stick to the system, and then you perfect it, right?
Definitely.
So
Speaking about Gakpo, actually Gakpo was very close to joining Man
yeah.
United. What happened was he shared the same agent with Erik ten Hag, our previous manager.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yes, they shared the same agent. So after the World Cup, actually, the rumors were very strong of him coming to United. Unfortunately, what happened was, I think United decided to go for Anthony.
No,
it was a very close call between Anthony and Gakpo, but Ten Hag's former player under him, so he went for Anthony for 84 million, and then rest is history. We know what happened. So Gakpo went to Liverpool.
Yeah, he was close to joining United. I think he spoke to Van Dijk, right?
Oh, do you remember Gakpo also spoke to some person by the name of Louis
Yeah.
Van Gaal?
Of course.
Oh, I thought he spoke to Van Nistelrooy.
He spoke to Van Gaal. Van Gaal said
Oh.
no to United.
Oh yeah, Wenger might have influenced in the decision too.
So yeah,
The Dutch connection, lah. Brought him
That
to-
connection.
screwing each other's up.
In fact, to be honest, Van Gaal even warned Erik ten Hag about a United job. Yeah, he
Yes.
told him
Wow,
that
I didn't
be
know that.
careful because Van Gaal was sacked from United a few years already, and he told that you're coming into very uncharted waters with CEO like Ed Woodward, who's knows nothing about football. So I think he kind of gave him the hint, though.
So I know you're pro Van Gaal, right? Because he beat Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean his record.
He has a
against Liverpool is really
good record against top six, bro.
Yeah. And he won a trophy as well, right?
I pick up.
Yeah.
And then you're sacked.
Okay. So moving to Liverpool's unsung heroes.
Ask Gabby lah.
Yeah.
Liverpool's unsung heroes. Okay, for me, I think Luis Diaz is quite a
Yeah,
hero.
tell me, because you were saying that Salah steals the spotlight from him and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Salah is always the spotlight. Same like how Ronaldo is the spotlight for United.
But
being the
he's
best.
also, Salah's like a model, bro. You would understand that. You also a model.
Shahrukh
no,
Khan.
no.
For the camera, take out shirt, six pack,
No, bro, only one
go
guy.
for hair transplant.
Yeah,
Or
just take hair.
Salah is your, supposed to be your idol.
No,
lah.
lah, bro. For me, I think Luis Diaz, he works hard for the team. I've seen him, when he gets the ball, I see the way he plays and he creates for his teammates. Yeah. But of course, the credit doesn't go much to him because he doesn't score many goals.
Actually, he got 15 this season.
Yes, yeah. But of course, credit always goes to Salah. Every time, because given Salah's season so far and assists and goals he has scored.
He's the
So-
highest in a 38 game season.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
45. He just beat, he went surpassed Henry and Haaland for 44.
Correct.
45 goals and assists in a single
Definitely.
season with 6 games to go.
But then, Gabs, I want to ask you one thing. When you always mention about unsung heroes, you mentioned about United was Chelsea, Liverpool was Luis Diaz. You're looking at the attacking point of view. How about someone who's doing the dirty work behind midfield or defense? They are the ones actually running the whole team. Actually, the ones getting the spotlights are always the ones scoring.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Who would your unsung hero be?
Yeah. Who would you be?
I would say the Liverpool had 2 unsung heroes. You know, the goalkeeper, the second choice, Gallagher,
Yeah.
and also the right back. What's his name? I forgot.
Gomez or Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa. They can easily slot it in inside.
I think Kelleher definitely, I would say, because Allison has barely played, man. I think literally 50-50 games this season. He's been injured here with concussion with Brazil as well. But Kwanzaa is not his position, the right back.
Yeah, but he's just jeopardizing.
Yeah, against
Trent, right?
PSG, he had 2 chances, man. If he had scored, he would have been a hero. But I would say it's the popular choice, Endo.
Correct.
Endo is the unsung hero. The last 10 minutes to close off a game. The irony is, when he came on, we conceded.
Yeah.
And then he scored. But actually, you have to talk about West Ham's midfielder, Paqueta. Paqueta, I think.
Luis
yeah.
Paqueta.
His left foot is so good,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Yeah.
Beautiful.
He
bro.
has to be playing for a top 6 club, man. He's
Yeah, exactly.
so good in midfield.
Welcome to
Really,
United.
he springs the ball. That's one of the players United should be looking at. He and
He should go to Spurs.
Kudus, right? Kudus is like, I don't think he should be playing football. He should be playing kickboxing or something. I feel his body build, is like very different, bro. He should be playing a different sport. But he and
Body
Paqueta,
proportionate, yeah.
actually, Arne Slot made a post-match. He said there were 2 players that actually could be playing for us because the quality is the same. Paqueta and Kudus, they literally ran the show, bro. Passes, you couldn't get the ball off Paqueta. At one point, Endo came on, 30 seconds in, he smashed Paqueta. Because you cannot get the ball off him, bro. He's twisting and turning.
No.
He's so clever. And he's like...
He's like one of the flair players like nowadays. I mean, we don't see them anymore already.
yeah, you know...
Like the
last time
dying
Spurs-
fire, you know.
Correct. You know Spurs had a player last time called Dembele?
Yes.
Like, apparently Gerrard said that he's one of the best midfielders because you can never get the ball off him. Because he's so dynamic, right? The way
Correct.
he turns with the sun and has the left foot. So Paqueta was like that yesterday actually. But the first half it was bad. It was the second half that they turned up. And I think sometimes for underdog teams, when they concede the first goal, their shackles are off, right? They're like, okay, you know, we've got nothing to lose here, and then they go.
Go all out.
And they could have won the game actually because they had a lot of chances. So yeah, Endo, Gakpo, and Kwanzaa, Kelleher, right?
Yep.
So that's a little bit about the unsung heroes.
Take a break.
Yeah, good idea. Let's take a break.
Alright guys, welcome back to True Ball Banter. Okay, so right now what we're going to look into is we're going to look on the best goalie ever, right? Why we're talking about goalie is because, well, past 1 week we've been reading a lot about goalies, especially the Manja Matic calling out Onana the worst keeper in history.
Wait. In context, it's supposed to be the
context.
other way around. Onana said that he can easily beat Leon.
Yeah, actually, of course, Onana sparked the whole thing. I mean, with his foolish mouth, too prideful, thought he was too good, and then he said, we're going to beat Leon, and then he was called the worst keeper, and he went out there and he proved he was the worst keeper in the world. Congratulations to him. He's the best keeper. He's truly the worst keeper in the world. Okay, never mind. So right now, let's look into to our members here. Okay, Shashi and Fabian. All right, so Shashi, would you like to share who do you think is the best goalie ever?
All right, thank you, Gibbs, for the kind introduction. The super formal introduction, but who's the best goalkeeper? I mean, it's hard to look past Alisson after the recent weekend and recent weeks, especially against PSG. Talk about consistency. I've not seen a goalkeeper that makes the simple look simple. Because you look at that Onana mistake against Lyon, right?
Yeah.
There's when the ball bounces before the keeper catches, one of the toughest things, but Alisson makes those kind of saves look so easy.
Okay.
The only thing that stops Alisson from being the best goalkeeper of all time is his penalty record. In penalty shootouts, he's one of the worst.
Okay.
But 1v1, he's one of the best goalkeepers ever. And like for crossing, ball catching from long distance shots, bouncing balls, he's super good. It's just penalty record. So that's why I cannot say Alisson is the best goalkeeper of all time. But he's my call for one of the nominees for best goalkeepers because of the reasons that I specified.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about outside of Liverpool?
I wanted to say.
How about the history?
I wanted to say who's the 2002 German goalkeeper? Oliver Kahn.
Oliver Kahn.
But
Okay.
he made a mistake in the final.
Yes, Oliver Kahn.
He made a Onana mistake in the final.
That time the Onana term was not made yet.
Yeah. I
Onana
know
Kahn.
Gibbs is going to say David Seaman. But outside of Liverpool, I would say Edwin van der Sar stands out in terms of like feeling secure. If I'm playing with van der Sar, I know that he's got things covered at the back.
Yeah,
Just
true.
seeing how he calms things down, I would say Edwin van der Sar. But actually, I would say Peter Cech. Peter Cech also.
Okay.
Peter Cech, that season when
Okay, you got to choose one actually.
when Chelsea conceded only 15 goals.
Okay.
And he made all the saves and kept so many clean
True.
sheets. Probably has the best clean sheet record, I think. So if I had to choose, I'll choose Peter Cech. My number one, Peter Cech. Second, Alisson. Then Van der Sar.
Oh, that's quite shocking, but it's a good choice.
Why is it shocking?
Shocking because my number one is also Peter Cech.
Oh, okay.
So we share the
Couldn't
same
wait,
number
you
one.
couldn't wait to do all he did, right?
He was thinking
Okay, that's good. Okay, so how about you, Fabian? Who's your best goalie ever?
If you ask me from a United standpoint, I would go for Van der Sar.
Okay.
Van der Sar has been a very reliable goalkeeper
Okay.
and someone who, I think he doesn't do much bloopers also. And he was in a United squad at that point of time where you need to be very focused because there's not going to be 10 shots heading towards you.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
You need
I think that's
you need to save only 1 or 2 shots, and you
Yes.
need to save those 2 shots. And he's very alert in that sense.
Yes, exactly.
Versus compared to nowadays, goalkeepers are so robotic already.
True.
They don't do the goalkeeping jobs. They just do the ball playing type of player.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
So
it's very
Van der-
hard for us to say Addison is a top keeper because
Correct.
he's top in another category,
Yes,
but
exactly.
maybe not top in the priority. Like your job
Yes.
description, he's not top.
Yeah, true.
He's top in like the other
He's more like the
curricular
specialist.
activities.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Edison falls in the Guardiola type of mold. So those type of players actually you cannot categorize which are they really the best goalkeepers of all or not, because they have other attributes as well. And to me, outside of United, actually, I would go for Iker Casillas.
Okay.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, a lot of
He
players,
won the World Cup for Spain, right?
a lot of people actually forgotten about him. He was a very loyal servant to Real Madrid. And, during the times where Real Madrid was going for all the Galacticos and all, he was the unsung hero.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
He was
Very
the
true.
one making the club tick alongside Raul Gonzalez.
Yeah, striker,
So,
right?
yeah.
Yes.
So,
Very
I always remember him in that World Cup final, the Iron Robin save, right? The one
Correct.
with the keeper. I mean, that was
solid, man.
an amazing save, man. Seriously.
That was a typical, how a striker should score.
Yeah, true.
That's how it is.
Exactly. Okay. Thank you so much, Fitz. Right. For me, I would say my favorite. Well, I just shared this with Shashi actually. Okay,
And
so my favorite keeper is actually Peter Cech. Peter Cech, to me, he actually, the season where he won the Premier League title, first league title for Chelsea, 15 goals conceded all season. He was so good, and even after the continuous season, he was voted for goalkeeper of the year. Just he finished second or third. He displayed a consistency level of the highest professionalism that I've seen for a keeper. In fact, he injured his head in 2006 and he wore that helmet ever since, and he's been performing ever.
He had a skull injury. So
Yeah, he had a skull injury. It's quite life-threatening actually. But the way he came back and the way he performed, it is mind-blowing. And honestly, of course, he played with the best one of the best centre backs ever, John Terry and Ricardo Carvalho. So of course, having those two in front of you, I think not many shots you'll get it from your
and
opponents.
then, Ferreira and Ashley Cole, right?
Ashley Cole, yes.
They oh man, what a
That
defense!
was it was crazy,
Incredible.
unbelievable. So yeah, Peter Cech, I think for me is my personal choice of the best goalie of all time. But statistically, I've actually looked into this matter, and there are only 3 goalkeepers who have won the award of best goalkeepers of all time 5 times.
You mean like the FIFA one, is it?
Yeah, under the FIFA one.
You mean the Yashin Award, is it?
Yes.
Okay, Martinez, I don't won it. Yeah,
No, Martinez only won. Okay, Martinez won one.
Alisson won one.
Yeah, and there are 3 keepers who won it 5 times. One of them were Iker Casillas. Second was Manuel Neuer, and the third was
The Italian keeper, is it Julio Cesar?
Buffon.
Oh,
Buffon.
Yeah,
GG.
Buffon.
GG.
Oh, we shouldn't forget
Surprising,
Buffon.
yeah.
Buffon was one of the best.
Surprisingly, none of you said Buffon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buffon is definitely one of the best
Recency
ever.
bias lah.
But for me, I would say,
Premier League centric.
personally, historically, I would say, yeah, the best award of all time goes to Iker Casillas because he won 5 in a row from 2008 to 2012. And he actually guided not just Real Madrid, but Spain won Euros, World Cup, Euros, back to back.
Euros and
Yes.
one World Cup in between, right?
Yes.
Amazing.
Amazing.
He
So-
was and to be honest, he kept Pepe Reina out,
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
For almost his whole career, Pepe Reina couldn't get a starting position because that's how good. Casillas-
That's how good he was. Yeah, he was definitely.
Until Casillas left Madrid, then Pepe Reina had a shout out in Spain.
But what makes me so proud is
De Gea
that.
came in.
But what makes me so proud is that my favorite player scored against Iker Casillas.
Who's
Was
that?
it?
David Beckham. Remember the free kick?
Oh,
That free kick, the Champions League quarterfinal, we lost to Real Madrid on aggregate, but Beckham's free kick was so.
and that's how he moved to United.
I mean, just Iker Casillas he was just left stranded like that. He couldn't do anything. The ball just hit the post and went out.
Oh,
Went in.
speaking of stranded,
Yeah.
do you still remember David Seaman's reaction when Ronaldo scored?
You know,
You said he
David
was doing
Seaman.
something, bro.
Yeah.
You see, we're adjusting his pants.
Yeah, I think
There's no footage that suggests that.
I don't know.
You guys can check it out, like.
yeah, somebody, I don't know, I have to check it out, really.
Fake news gets.
Yeah, fake news maybe.
There
So
was,
check it out.
But actually, I just paused since you guys brought it up. Did the referee blow the whistle for the free kick?
Yeah,
Really,
he
definitely,
did.
sure.
Did
I'm
he,
sure he
right?
did.
Okay.
Maybe he just finished adjusting by the time he blew.
What's he doing at the
Nobody
pants,
would
bro?
have expected that. That time nobody did that. What?
Yes.
Nobody. I think that's the first time that somebody did like a trick.
He
Free kick.
locked the ball, bro.
Actually,
that was
if you
25
ask
yards, 25 yards out, and the funny part was the ball actually. A lot of theories came out. Some say the ball was actually going outwards, but suddenly the wind blew, so it dropped inside the goalpost.
Was it in South Korea or Japan?
I think South Korea. Japan.
Japan.
Shizuoka. Yeah,
The
Shizuoka
2002
Stadium.
World Cup, Brazil won. Right? Ronaldo with the 2
No,
goals.
because-
So they say the wind was
Japan
blowing
and South
strong at the
Korea.
time.
Oh.
So the ball was heading out actually. Suddenly the wind blew and it just went top corner.
Actually, we probably only David Seaman will know whether the wind blew. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe Godzilla helped out a bit.
Yeah, because that time nobody shot the ball like that or took a
Yeah.
free kick like that. So.
Bit of a freak actually, to be honest.
But interestingly, right, when you mentioned Casillas in that Real Madrid goal for Beckham's free kick, right? Because Casillas is actually small built compared to like the likes of Courtois. Right? Courtois should be getting a shout in as well as best keeper because surprisingly he was so bad at Chelsea. I mean, he was not so bad at Chelsea. He was not like a top keeper at Chelsea. But in Real Madrid, he's like the one right now, even though they got such a bad defense, he's the one like saving the day. Remember the final against Liverpool? Liverpool had like, I think, 10 shots on target, everything saved. And these are like really shots in the corner,
Actually,
and
you're
he's
right.
saving.
Yeah.
Like he's quite good. He's quite a good goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And just that he doesn't get the recognition.
Yeah.
Normally goalkeepers
Because
are
he
the
stole
one.
Kevin De Bruyne's girlfriend.
Yeah, I think so.
I know there's a bit of a story there.
But he's also the cornerstone for Belgium. But
Yeah. I can't believe he's still playing with De Bruyne in Belgium team after what he did.
Yeah.
Okay, so Banter check,
But check.
but Iker Casillas
Yeah.
overall, right? So mine would be, I would say Banter check overall. Actually, I never really thought about it. Flips for you.
Bendesa overall, Iker Casillas.
Overall, oh no. Overall, I would go. I'm sorry, I'm biased. Allison.
I thought you said Bruce Cobbler.
I thought you said carriers.
Hi, welcome back to True Ball Banter.
You're back.
Hi.
Since we talk about all the highs about goalkeepers, now we'll talk about the lows for United and Liverpool.
Okay, so I found this interesting stat on. You don't have to see. I'm going to share. Interesting stat on social media actually about United's clean sheet rate. This is actually quite surprising, guys. Okay, out of 49 games, right? Who has the best clean sheet ratio in United's recent history of goalkeepers? Can you guess?
Best clean sheet.
Clean sheet rate. Games to clean sheet ratio.
Biggia?
Thomas Kushak.
Thomas Kushak, are you?
Wait. Who's the goalkeeper? Second choice? That United went all the way to final.
Oh, the guy. Diego Simon.
Okay, it's actually Onana.
Huh?
Seriously?
No, it's Roy Carroll. Roy Carroll played 49 games.
Table, bro, you say
49 games for United.
that.
Kept 24 clean sheets.
Wow.
The highest percentage in 49 games. Second best ratio is actually Edwin van der Sar. 189 games, 90 clean sheets. Then Anders Lindegaard, 19 games, 9 clean sheets. Thomas Kushak, you mentioned, 32, 15 clean sheets.
Okay.
Peter Schmeichel, 252, 112 clean sheets.
Wow.
Mark Bosnich, 23 games, 9 clean sheets. Tim Howard, 45 games, 16. David De Gea, 415 games, 147 clean sheets. So he has the most clean sheet, but the games to ratio, clean sheet is not that high. Fabian Barthez, second to last.
Fabian.
92 games,
Well done.
30 clean sheets. And the last,
But not
Mr.
least.
Onana,
Mr. Onana.
69 games, 18 clean sheets.
69 games, 18 clean
Better
sheets.
than 18 clean sheets, just ask him to drop the ball inside.
So what Matic said was correct, basically.
What did he say?
He's the worst keeper in.
So Martish looked at the stats. I think he probably saw the social media post and said that.
You sure it's not a fake news, bro?
Actually, I haven't.
Bro,
I haven't validated this information,
Bro,
bro.
I'm guessing the moment Onana told that we can easily beat Lyon, Matic took out his phone, he quickly Googled and looked at the stats. Okay, he's the worst in history. And decided to tell.
Yeah, but actually about that, some interesting points from two pundits that I watch on ESPN. One of them is very biased, Steve Nicol, former Liverpool fullback. Another one is Shaka Hislop, West Ham keeper, Newcastle keeper, right? So Steve Nicol said, if you are not playing well, shut up. Don't talk. Which Onana is doing. But Shaka Hislop actually said something very interesting, and I want to know your thoughts. He said that Onana is feeling the expectation that he needs to be a leader, and he's speaking out of the fact that there's nobody else that's leading, so he feels he needs to lead. He's forgetting to do the basics, which is to shut up and keep clean sheets, right? So he's forgetting his main role of doing his job as a keeper and getting sucked into the leadership part of United, where he felt like he need to come out and say that, we are a better team, because he wants to show that United is United, by forgetting that he's not performing. So when Shaka Hislop mentioned that, I was like, wait a second, actually that looks to be true, because besides Bruno Fernandes, who's always apologizing to fans after games, there's nobody else that actually talks to the press or to the United fans where they see United as, hey, we are United, we are expected to win. Right?
Yeah, true.
Because last time that was the case, right? Where regardless of your opponent, United is United. So
that was last time, bro.
So what are your thoughts on that? So do you give credit to Onana for that, or do you think he should have shut up?
Actually, Onana is trying to do something. He wants to command the position where he is. So maybe he's trying to do it because he knows that he on the pitch he couldn't do it, and I think the players are not really having a good understanding with him. So maybe he wants to air it out to say, maybe he just want to rally his team. Maybe he just want to pull another Jose Mourinho style tactic type of things, right? But technically backfired lah, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he's under pressure, I guess.
If he actually kept a clean sheet and they won, it would have been
justified.
Right? Yeah. So it's a bit hard, but especially for a keeper, you make one wrong move and it's over. So
True.
You think he should have kept quiet, or he was right to say what he said?
Actually, he was right to say what he said. if he only had kept a clean sheet. But because of what happened after that, so he is forced to eat humble pie lah. I don't think there's nothing wrong with what he said. I mean, he just said a fact. Yeah, United are a better team than Lyon, but the person who said it, he had to ensure that he wouldn't make a mistake in the game. Too bad for him, he was blamed for both goals, so it cost him his reputation furthermore.
Actually, if you notice the way Onana plays, his priority is to always pushes the ball. So I think
he's a ball playing keeper, right?
Yeah, so that's the problem. Right?
Yeah, because I saw some highlights of him in Inter Milan. He was like starting the attack by playing those through. He was from Inter Milan, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He would pass from. I think that's why United signed him, because De Gea couldn't do that. De Gea was not a ball playing player.
Yeah.
They wanted to be like Man City, trying to copy Man City, of course. But then at United's current state, you don't need a ball playing keeper. You need a keeper that's going to keep hands are safe, right? And De Gea's hands, in comparison to Onana, maybe more safer, but he was also making mistakes, right?
Yeah, he made few mistakes in the final also as well.
True.
Yeah. So,
Can't do anything
but now
else.
he's performing so well, right? Fiorentina.
He took one year break. bro.
Sabbatical, bro, 1 year. And then came back playing. So that's the United perspective of worst keepers.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's look back at a little bit of the worst keepers. Maybe we start in Premier League history that you guys know. Worst goalkeepers we have seen. And maybe also in the world. I mean, Oliver Kahn springs to mind because he's so highly rated, but in the final, I felt he made such a bad mistake for such a great goalkeeper. So it's just like Carriers in the Champions League final, right?
Yeah,
When you make
true.
a mistake in a big stage, you
But bro, I just to cut you off he made a mistake. But do you remember who took the shot?
Ronaldo.
Rivaldo.
Oh, Rivaldo, yeah.
You know how hard Rivaldo shot is.
Yeah.
So
That's true. But yeah, actually, we can't say Oliver Kahn is one of the worst keepers because his track record is great.
Yeah,
It's just
true.
that poor performance in the final sadly sort of affects his rating a little bit. But
because I was watching the 2002 World Cup, I'm a fan of Brazil. So I always remember they were actually racing for the Golden Boot. So
Rivaldo and Ronaldo.
Rivaldo and Ronaldo. So Rivaldo wanted to shoot all his might to get the goal in, and then it fall right into Ronaldo.
Yeah. And then the second one also he dummied, right?
Yep, he
He dummied. So man, what a striking! Oh my god, I cannot imagine keepers today facing
Correct.
Ronaldo, Rivaldos, and all. So yeah, I mean, worst keepers, Fabian Barthez. Fabian Barthez comes to mind because he could never stop all the long range shots from Germany.
Yeah,
Hey,
he was a joke.
he's a midfielder, bro, and there's a corner taken. Do you still remember?
Really?
Yeah.
Barthez, I didn't know that.
You should go to watch his games during the 2000 season. Whenever
Actually, Barthez-
whenever United have corners, right,
He'll take corner.
he'll be the one standing in the middle line.
Oh, okay. Because he
So-
wants to take a shot.
Either maybe some cleanups.
This is again goalkeepers forgetting their job description.
So Barthez is the wrong generation, bro.
Yeah.
He would have put for Man City, he would have been playing well today. now.
Yeah. Because he was a bit like the Pepe Reina kind of
Yeah.
mold, right?
Mm.
Where he's like very short but very flexible in a way.
Yeah, true.
So your worst keeper?
Historically.
Come on, Jesse Dudek. Who else?
I don't think Jesse did that. He won Champions League with Liverpool. I give him a lot of credit for that.
Seaman lah.
No,
Because he
he's
let
not
you
the
down.
best.
He was adjusting his pants, right?
Carriers lah.
Carriers. Yeah,
Carrier-
I would say.
Carriers just for that game only, right?
But I think
It's
that
hard to
makes
think
him.
of worst keepers, man.
But that one kind of depends on the stage you make the mistake. Finals make a mistake. You always
Okay,
remember
biggest
that.
errors. Keepers that have made the biggest mistakes. Carriers, Oliver Kahn.
Barthez, yes. The Ronaldo hat-trick at Old Trafford. I would say out of the 3 goals, 1 or 2 should have entered. It's all far range shots actually.
Which one?
But Ronaldo's shot that time was a bit unstoppable.
I know, bro, but if you say it was De Gea or someone else, would have been much more better, lah. Honestly, because Barthez, I saw the game, bro. The way he was positioning himself also, it's really bad.
One keeper, bro.
Yeah,
think you
I didn't like
never
Barthez
see-
really.
You never see worse goalkeepers in United. What do you call Raymond Van der Gaal and all those Massimo Taibi.
Oh.
They were very short term, lah. They were I think, few
yeah,
games
they
in.
were short term because Ferguson decided to not keep him long term already
Correct.
because they're making terrible mistakes. Right?
So worst keepers.
United itself got a wonderful
But
array
whole
of
catalogue.
goalkeepers.
For
Yeah.
Liverpool, I would say And Jesse Dudek, I mean, he used to make those errors that Onana was making. So technically,
But he.
Oh yeah, I think we have one.
Have
David
you
James also made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, David James.
David James.
Paul Robinson for England.
Oh, because he let you down. And
Yeah.
Robert Green
He
also
scored
now.
from the corner.
And David
right?
James also.
Robert Green.
Paul Robinson was the
Green.
goalkeeper that England.
England, he took a bad kick. He wanted to go and take a goal kick clearance. He missed it and the ball rolled into the net.
Who was the goalkeeper that I think they scored against England from a corner kick?
David James.
Was it David James?
Yeah, he was
again?
known as Calamity James.
Calamity James.
Yeah, Calamity James. Big afro hit.
Calamity James.
But then he couldn't say much.
Calamity.
So
Why
the
you,
time-
why you making the English word in Tamil word, bro? Calamity. It's Calamity James, bro.
Calamity.
Okay, so I guess it's kind of hard to pinpoint
Yeah, I mean-
the worst keeper because there's always an error here and there.
Yeah,
But
of course.
some names spring to mind like Banter, Carriers. I think a lot of the foreign keepers like Buffon, Julio Cesar, Dida also, they were like, I can see their errors were few and far between. I don't know, maybe in the Premier League there's more physicality, so keepers are prone to more mistakes.
Mm.
Right? I mean, Pepe Reina in the Africa final, he made so many mistakes that caused.
But you
Liverpool-
realize some foreign keepers that come to English Premier League, they really struggle at times.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
So it's a bit different in Premier League. And you notice some of the best keepers also, they don't move from their country also.
True.
And I think that's a problem with the officiating because apparently the rules are different
Yes.
in Europe, but in the Premier League they're different. Why can't it just be standard?
You see, they
Football's
can be
football, right?
they can be very physical in Premier League, but when it comes to the Champions League, it's a bit difficult for them.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Why are the rules not the same for all competitions? It's football, right?
Yeah, leniency, I would say.
Yeah. So bottom line is all the goalkeeping position is not worth it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
technically,
just employ Pep Guardiola in your club, and then you won't have any goalkeepers.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
technically you have sweepers, lah, bro.
Uh,
They can save the ball with their hand, they'll still use their leg,
Yeah.
bro. They'll just the ball, bro.
you'll see Rodri holding the gloves.
Okay, so that's about worst goalkeepers. I think to wrap up this episode, I think there's going to be an episode where we talk about the best GOAT 11, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll be diving into midfielders, defenders, strikers, managers, clubs.
Yep.
Real Madrid cannot be in the topic because they are the best club technically, most fans, most followers on
Blacklisted
Instagram.
already, bro.
Yeah. We can do Premier League and then we do overall. But you know, if you guys are watching this episode, let us know your thoughts in the comments about like who is your favorite goalkeeper, who is your worst goalkeeper. As a United fan, was there a goalkeeper that you miss or you want to sign? As a Liverpool fan, can't get any better than Alisson, so let's not even think about it. But we signed that keeper. What's the guy's name? From Valencia.
Yeah, he's supposed to come in, right?
Yeah, next
Second
season.
choice, lah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He looks damn handsome, bro.
Oh,
He really looks damn handsome. He's like a younger version of Alisson.
But Alisson, he lost his barbershop or barber or what? He never cut his hair or something.
Bro, I think he's a bit what's the word? Superstitious.
Oh,
Yeah.
you want to be
I think
more.
after win the league, he'll cut now, bro. Yeah, but actually that happened to Trent also.
Yep.
Trent, he kept his long hair for I don't know what reason, but I guess we're not going to see Trent much longer. Okay, final thoughts, guys. What do you want to see moving forward in this podcast since we're talking about it? Yeah. What can our fans look forward to?
okay. They can look forward to us.
Okay,
We're going to talk about. We're going to talk about, of course, Liverpool as they are 6 points away from the title. Definitely, we're getting closer there. So we are going to be talking more about it as they get closer and closer.
Will you be lifting
And
the
it's-
title and celebrating with Mila, bro?
No, I'll be lifting anything. I'll be lifting a toilet bowl.
That's United's cup for the season now.
And of course, we are going to look forward to speak about United versus Lyon at Old Trafford.
If United get knocked out, what are your hopes for the rest of the season?
I will come back to the podcast next year.
I think I will take a break.
I think for the fun of it, I hope United go through that because it's kind of. I'm not a United fan, but I hope Ruben Amorim does well because he seems to be like somebody that knows what he's doing at United now. So it's time for them to finally get it working. And if they actually, even I think if they reach the final, right, I think it's progress now. Even
Yeah,
if they don't
true.
win, they reach the final.
Let's
But-
just go one step at a time.
Yeah,
lah.
yeah.
Yeah, true. We'll take it one step at a time. We just hope that we go through the quarterfinals, and of course, Liverpool be closer to their title. I think by the end of the week. And then Arsenal will be
excited?
also
You
going to the
excited?
Banter
You
Stadium.
excited Liverpool closer to the title? What are you gonna do?
I'll be excited for you, lah.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I'll not be excited, bro. For you, I'll be excited.
You'll delete all your posts about Liverpool.
No, he'll just bludger your career just full chicken. Bro.
Bro, actually speaking of which, you should have a Twitter account. I think you
Oh.
you will get
Alah, bro.